Ladies and gentlemen, if I could have everybody's attention, I'd like to welcome everybody to our monthly luncheon. And first and foremost, I'd like to ask for our opening prayer, if Pastor Ed Amundson from High Street Baptist Church could please come forward and bless today's meal.
Let's pray. Father, we're so grateful to be in your presence today, and thank you, Lord, for allowing us to gather here. Lord, I do pray that everybody who can will go back to church now that they're here. Lord, thank you for this food, and we pray that you will bless it to the nourishment of our bodies. And Lord, we commit our bodies to you today. Lord, let all things be done here today be glorifying in your sight. We pray these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you very much, Pastor Amundson. Well, as you all can see, things look a little bit different this month. We're meeting in the theater because another event has taken up a portion of our normal lunch area, and we wanted to make sure that we were still able to maintain our social distancing protocols. Plus, it's always fun to shake things up a little bit. I'd like to thank Lonnie Lawson and the Center for Rural Development for once again going above and beyond to accommodate our needs during these unprecedented times. As you may have noticed on the way in, we have a few new fever detection units set up, complements of Silent Guard. At this time, I would like to ask Taylor Sears to please come forward and provide us with some information on how these portable units work and how your companies can purchase or rent them if interested. Taylor?
Everybody hear me all right? Is that working? Thank you, Bobby. Thank you to the center. Thanks, Lonnie, for having us. And to the chamber, for letting us come speak today. Everybody except for Troy. I've got a bone to pick with him. He stole our best golfer tomorrow for the golf scramble. So we do have a bet going that if the Silent Guard team can beat Troy and Ben, then they've got to detail all of our cars. So Troy, hopefully you'll be at the office detailing cars here in a few days. But anyway, so yeah, I guess, because of this whole coronavirus stuff that's happened over the last few months, things are a little bit different as society, churches, businesses, hospitals, schools. We're all having to operate or not operate in some cases right now a little bit differently. So I think that once all this is said and done, we're going to see that a lot of these practices are here to stay. You think of 9/11 and what happened with airport security after that. A lot of the stuff, if we would have said that TSA was going to be how it is, 30 years ago, we never would have dreamed that we'd still be doing that this long after 9/11. And I think that checking temperatures and some of the hygiene practices that maybe we should have been doing before that now we're a little bit more cognizant of, I think are here to stay. And one of those being checking the temperatures of your employees and your customers as they coming in and out of your building. Paying an employee to stand there and check temperatures with a thermometer, you do it at the hospital and you're paying 2 nurses to sit there at whatever the wage is an hour, it gets very expensive. A restaurant hiring, some of their servers, or maybe it's someone else that is usually a normal hostess and they're having to also check temperatures, paying them to do that every single day is just not practical. So Silent Guard, we came up with this option. This is a product that didn't even exist, or we never imagined we'd be selling just a few months ago, but hopefully everybody saw it when you came in and you used it, and I hope that everybody passed and was safe and healthy and we're not passing anything along. But what you saw it do out there is a very fancy thermometer. It's pretty cool. It does what it needs to do, but there's so many other features, and I'll just very briefly and very quickly kind of show you some of the stuff that it's capable of. At its core, it's a thermal detection unit. It measures temperature. It does mask detection, so it knows if you are or you're not wearing a mask. It will do facial recognition. It has the ability to you can set up custom thresholds. So if the school system, for example, if every student that comes into the building at the city and county schools this year, if their temperature is above 100.4, they're going to be alerted in real time and that student's going to go to the nurse and get checked upon. Very practical in a lot of different use cases. You can set up with the unit. Right now, we just have it set up. We weren't saving your pictures and all that stuff today. We have no record of your temperatures and all that. But what you do have the ability to do, and I'll show you very quickly here, is this guy, if you're looking at him. So that was me. I just scanned. I've got this set up to check and see if you've got a mask on. So if I scan,
normal temperature, please wear.
I don't know if you could hear it, but it says normal temperature, please wear a mask. Because I didn't have a mask, it popped up down here, and I've got a record of that picture that I was not wearing a mask, the time, and also what the temperature was. So there's a lot of really cool stuff it can do. You can set up alerts so that maybe you've got it and you don't want to embarrass the people that come in with a high temperature, but you want to get it networked. So from my desk at the office, I can have this set up so that it's going to alert me, even if the software is down and not being used. It can tell me, hey, somebody just walked in the front of the office, they scanned and their temperature was 102.5. Well, that allows us to catch it before they get in the building, and I'm alerted in real time. So there's some other cool stuff you can do with that, but to take it a step farther, and this is what I'm most excited about with this feature. If anybody's ever used an intercom system, maybe to buzz into a school, as you're coming in and they can two-way talk to you, you can do that with this system as well. You've got the ability to set up multiple units, so maybe you've got a front door, a back door, and then a special employee entrance. You can have all of these monitored from the same location, and you can actually just buzz in doors, and if you see there, it opened the door. Or you can set up rules that say maybe if an employee comes in and their face is in the system, you can save as many faces as you want, and when I pull up, it's going to recognize, like you were seeing here, you can see that it pops up with my name. It's a really nice feature, even if you've got common visitors, so maybe the UPS, FedEx, anything like that. I'm recently married, and I've realized that there's a guy that visits my house more than often, the Amazon guy. He seems to come every day, so maybe it's something where I want to put the Amazon driver on that. But there's an unlimited amount of use cases. It's extremely flexible. It's portable. So the unit you were sitting out there, you literally just plug it into power, and it's fully capable of measuring temperatures. It can store all of it locally. You can go back and access it later if you'd like, but having that audit trail to be proactive and catch things before people get into your building or bring something in that you don't want. So I don't have time to go into all the details. I'd love to host any of you guys that want to come down to the office and check it out. We've got a demo set up there. We've got one here that kind of mimics what it would be like to actually put it on your network and take advantage of a lot more of the features. The biggest question we get is the price point. So these are extremely affordable. You look at some of these options and they're $7,000 to $10,000, $15,000, or even $25,000 in some cases, and we have those options too. There's other companies that they're good products and they serve a purpose. This is kind of a niche product that's very flexible. I know the school system, for the city school system, we've mounted them on the school buses. So every student that gets on a city school bus this school year, as they get on the bus, their temperature is going to be checked. That's pretty awesome to know that we can prevent those kids from passing it along to other students, to teachers, before they even get to school or get on the school bus. So the retail price of these, we sell them for $23.95. It's extremely cost effective, especially when you think of using this versus hiring a person to stand there. We've got some available at the office. If you want to just try this out, ultimately what Silent Guard is trying to do with this, just like today, we want people to feel comfortable operating as this virus is going on, as well as years down the road, once this is all said and done, hopefully sooner than later. Today, for chamber members, we're offering a $250 discount if you're interested in buying one. So if you're a member of the chamber, we'll offer you $250 off. And if you want to buy more than one, we offer discounts for that as well. So we're not trying to make a lot of money off of them. Ultimately, we just want to help. So if there's a way that we can help you, or if you just need one for a weekend, Kitty Cats, they're using one across the hall for their show that they've had going on. We're happy to lend one to you for a few days. Whatever Silent Guard and our team can do to help you, that's what we're here for. So, Bobby, thanks for having us. Chamber, thanks for letting us be here today, and I hope that you guys get some good use out of the thing. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Taylor. Taylor's doing a great job over at Silent Guard. I see Barb and Dwight out there. You guys have done a great job with that one right there. He's great future for your company. He's doing a wonderful job. At this time, we have 1-2 for Tuesday this month. I would like at this time to have Miss Farrah Dobbs please come up. Farrah's going to talk to us. She's going to shamelessly talk to us today and guilt you all into getting involved with our Young Entrepreneurs Academy.
Thank you. I didn't know I could get the cool little headpiece that Taylor had on her. I would have asked for that. But anyway, it is that time of year again. It's the Young Entrepreneurs Academy. And I don't know if you all were following us last year, but we still haven't even competed in Rochester with Lily Hamilton. She gets to compete on October the 3rd. So if you all are not busy, put that on your calendars to maybe watch the Young Entrepreneurs Facebook page. We'll probably carry it live on the Somerset-Pulaski County Chamber of Commerce page as well. But I'm here to talk to you about this year. We're facing some challenges this year, especially with schools not going back into session until later. We do have a meeting with the homeschool kids or students this afternoon, so that'll be the first time that I'll actually get to start recruiting for our students for this year's class. And we have picked up some new sponsors, and so we want to make sure that they get their money's worth. You know, we want to have a great class this year. We want to have at least 10 to 12 students. So I have kind of challenged different boards, like our Rotary, like the Chamber of Commerce Board, to nominate a student. And just in case that I don't get to go into the schools this year, to start recruiting these high educated, you know, these special students. If you know of somebody, let me know. I would be glad to talk to the student. I'd be glad to talk to the parent about this. This actually gives us a leg up, because normally we just go into the schools and we talk to the students, and we hope that 0.10% of those students will take the paperwork home to their parents. If you nominate somebody, this actually gives me a chance to get in front of the parents first and explain the program, because if you have a 1 in 8 chance of winning a college scholarship, I think you as a parent would probably jump on that chance. So if you all would just take a moment and maybe think about a student that's in your life or one of your friends' kid, that I would be more than glad to talk to them, 7th through 12th graders. We could take 6th graders, but it's a little bit more challenging for them to start that program and follow it all the way through. And speaking of middle schoolers, we've had more middle schoolers win the actual competition than we have high schoolers. So do not discount those middle schoolers if you know somebody in 7th or 8th grade that you think would excel at this program. They don't have to be reinventing the wheel if they're just a photographer, or they have their own landscaping or lawn mowing business. Tell them about it. Tell them about how being a young entrepreneur could change their life, because we have changed the lives of so many kids here in this town. Tiffany was actually a mentor for Taylor Linkus, and I don't know if you know her or not, but she has successfully become a bridal photographer who's probably making about $8,000 per show. So, you know, just having the right mentor, having the right person in their lives makes a big difference. So anyway, I won't take up any more of your time. If you want to become a sponsor and give one of these kids a scholarship, because we do not want to turn away any student if they cannot afford the program, then get with me also. If you want to become a mentor or a teacher or just anything, if you want us to come and visit your business, please get in touch with me. And then please nominate a student. I would love to have a great load of nominations this year that we get to choose who we can take. And that's all I need. Thank you, Bobby.
Thank you. Thank you, Farrah. So again, we've got a tremendous speaker today. We are honored to have our Kentucky State Speaker of the House, Mr. David Osborne. Also have a lot of our legislators down here with us. I see our Speaker Pro Tem, Mr. David Mead. We see our Transportation Chairman, Mr. Ken Upchurch. Is Rick Girdler here today? There he is back there. State Senator Rick Girdler. Saw the judge earlier. I think it's the mayor here. Saw a lot of our elected officials. I want to thank you all for being here and showing support as well. One item I'd like to put on everybody's calendars, we're going to be doing a new series called Chamber Spotlights. This is a virtual series that we're going to be doing, you know, this year, 2020, adapt or die. That's kind of our philosophy. So we're doing a lot of virtual meetings and virtual conversations with businesses here in town. This Chamber Spotlight series, we're going to be out talking with significant milestones, landmarks, businesses that have done something impactful this year. On the 18th of September, we're going to be going out to Haney's Apple Farm. Did anybody know this? This is their 150th year in business this year. They weren't even going to tell anybody. They told me. So we're going to go out there and we're going to do a business spotlight with them and talk about everything with Dawn and Ann and just kind of shed a light on that business. It's a tremendous. I'm going to ask everybody, since we are live today, put in the comments if you can think of another business in Pulaski County that's older than Haney's Apple Farm. It's 150 years old this year. I would love to know if anybody knows of an older business in Pulaski County than that. All right. So y'all be thinking about that. At this time, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn the program over to my boss, President of the Chamber of Commerce from 2020, Mr. Troy Lovell.
Thank you, Bobby. And again, I'd like to welcome everybody today to our Chamber Luncheon. And at this time, I'd like to call this monthly meeting of the Chamber to order. I'd like to welcome all of our guests again, all of our public officials, their representatives, and of course, all of our membership, and all those today joining our meeting virtually on Facebook Live. We're glad you're joining us today. I'd also like to take this opportunity to recognize all of our sponsors, our world-class sponsors, our Chairman's Circle sponsors, and our Ambassador Circle sponsors. All of these were listed when you came in today, and if you'll please take a look at those when you exit, and they're also being displayed on our PowerPoint in a revolution. So we truly appreciate our sponsors and allow the Chamber to do many of the things that we do and never want to overlook our membership. We appreciate you very much. And we would also like to take this opportunity to voice our appreciation for the Center for Rural Development. They always do a fabulous job for us and have accommodated us greatly through all of this time that we have had this year with COVID. And also Karen's Catering and Event Planning. Lunch was wonderful again today, and they always do a wonderful job for us. At this time, we want to go into our new member business introductions, and I'm going to bring up to the podium our Vice President of the Board of Directors, Mr. Matt Ford.
I told Bobby it feels a little different being on stage up here. Just a little weird. So if you're here, when I read over these new businesses, it's encouraging. There's a lot of good growth in Somerset, Kentucky. Mayor, appreciate your vision for what you're doing. We're in the real estate business. I see people, I see Linda and I saw Rita earlier. There's a lot of people coming here, and we've got a lot of things to offer. And when we have that, we got a lot of new businesses. Even when the rest of the world's maybe crazy, we're very strong here in Somerset. So thank you for your leadership. If you're here, if you would please stand up. Association of Linen Management, Linda Fairbanks. I don't think she was able to make it. The next new business is Fishing Creek Jewelry, Jared Cox. Jared, great to have you. Located in Somerset, Kentucky, Fishing Creek Jewelry was started by a Brewer College graduate, Jared Cox. Having grown up in Kentucky, Jared often finds inspirational pieces in the creeks, in the forest, and the fishing creek. As an artist, as well as a metalsmith, Jared often takes stones that he finds in the creeks and cuts them, polishes them, and makes handcrafted, beautiful artwork out of these pieces. Jared's jewelry has been featured in the Kentucky Artisan Center, the Log House Craft Gallery, and the 123 Gallery. For more information, visit Jared's Etsy store or call him at 305-5063. Let's give Jared a big hand. Good to have you. Next up, you have J&J Laundry, Charles and Opal Jones. All right, right here in the front. Located on West Mount Vernon Street, J&J Laundry is locally owned and operated in Charles and Opal Jones. Their top priority is offering exceptional service at competitive pricing, all to make the essential task of getting your laundry needs done as quick and headache-free as possible. Wherever you need to use them, they have convenient drop-off, or do your own laundry. They can do it all. J&J also offers dry cleaning and their all-new wet cleaning option. For more information, pricing, or laundry services, please contact J&J Laundry at 606-485-0643. Let's give them a hand as well. Welcome. Metco Water Systems, Danny Metz. I don't think they're able to be here, are they, Bill? All right. The next up is Mutual of Omaha. Contact Kelsey Fortenberry. Right over here in the front. Kelsey Fortenberry is a financial planner and insurance representative with Mutual of Omaha Advisors. She works with individuals, families, and business owners to help them carve out a path toward financial security. While Mutual of Omaha is well known as an insurance company, Kelsey's road goes way beyond that, only insurance, and drives into each area of financial planning, including budgeting, debt repayment, retirement, estate planning, and business planning. As a member of the Chamber of Commerce, Kelsey is offering a chamber membership a complete financial plan to get acquainted. Please reach out to her. If you have questions, you can reach her at 606-875-2765 or at kelsey.fortenberry@mutualofomaha.com. Once again, give her a big hand. The next new member is Philpott Tire out of London, Mike Philpott. And I think he was unable to make it as well. The next new member is Pickers Paradise, Patricia Isaacs and Diana Overbay. All right, right up here in the front. You all sit in the right spot. Thank you, Bill. Located on West 80 across from Lake Cumberland Funeral Home, Pickers Paradise is Somerset's newest bin store. Pickers Paradise is the bargain hunter's dream come true, with bins loaded with items such as electronics, home goods, toys, and much more. If you like to dig for a good deal, then Pickers Paradise is the place for you. For more information, contact Patricia Isaacs and Diana Overbay. Their numbers are 606-875-7624 or 606-386-1434. Great to have you all. The next up is Roney's Plumbing, Robert and Enola Roney, with over, I believe they're here. Yes, how are you all? With over 25 years of experience, Roney's Plumbing in Somerset is Somerset's choice for all plumbing needs. Locally owned and operated, Roney's offers prompt and professional plumbing repairs, maintenance, and installation at very affordable prices. Whether you or your family home or a major business, Roney's Plumbing can get you the help to solve the problem. Fully licensed and insured, Roney's Plumbing has the tools and experience to handle any issue, no matter how complex. Their team will be happy to answer all your questions, and they will always stand behind their work. To schedule an appointment, just call them at 606-679-1459 or visit them online at roneysplumbing.com. Once again, give them a big hand. The next new member is Rose Lily Home Accents with Stacy Strunk. Well, I don't think she was able to make it either. We'll turn the page. The next up, I think I saw him in here a few minutes ago. Secure Storage, Mr. Dan Cheshire. Dan here? Okay. You didn't sit up front, Dan. Conveniently located on Langdon Street, just across from the entrance of Lake Cumberland Regional Hospital, Secure Storage in Somerset's newest and nicest indoor climate-controlled facility. Secure Storage has 85 individual units and many sizes to meet your storage needs. Safety for their customers and their belongings is the top priority of Secure Storage. Entry to storage units is granted with a security pin, while 16 cameras guard every square inch of the facility inside and out. For your convenience, there is free Wi-Fi, a filtered water fountain with bottle filler, bathroom facilities, and a meeting room for your use. Rent them 100% online. You don't even have to go in. You can rent them 100% online by just going to securestoragekentucky.com or call Dan Cheshire at 305-4252. Go ahead and put your name in. There is a waiting list, so go ahead before it opens. So give Dan a big hand. That's looking really good. Next up, we have Somerset Foundation Heart's Cry, Virginia Dial. Virginia. Since 2014, the mission of Heart's Cry has been to share the redemptive power of Christ's love, leading to spiritual healing and growth through the worship, testimony, and biblical teaching. Their vision is to target people within our community and beyond that are in need of physical and emotional support during the times of personal and physical crisis. In 2015, Heart's Cry partnered with the Somerset Foundation, which allowed their organization to serve our local community and minister to women on a one-on-one basis, including working with a local assistance program and individuals to assist with housing, clothing, food, and financial assistance for women in crisis. Within the past 2 years, the Somerset Foundation, Heart's Cry, has developed a business plan that will help connect the homeless and those transitioning out of recovery and the incarcerated back into the community environment. They will do this by providing avenues for job training, housing, transportation, and life skills so that their transition can be much smoother. This is an ongoing plan that will require community involvement and support, but it is a plan that they believe will be the missing link in the success of many individuals. Thank you for all your hard work. Please give them a big hand. And the last new member for this month is TLC Marine. Contact Tony Stevens. All right, right over here. Good to have you. TLC Marine is Lake Cumberland's only certified retail dealer of installer and Gator Step brand non-skid flooring. Gator Step is the highest quality of marine flooring solution available on the market. It is quickly becoming the choice for boaters wanting a comfortable, personalized look for their boats. Longevity and it also the benefits are unmatched. The main purpose of a non-skid flooring is to prevent slips and falls, but it also has added benefits of having the cushion-like feel under your feet. Gator Step can be customized to make your boat stand out from other boats and really just pop. For more information, contact Tony Stevens at 606-802-1597 or check them out on Facebook at TLSA Marine. And don't forget, chamber members, you get a 10% discount. So if you would give them a hand as well. Keep bringing new members. That's the lifeblood of the chamber and of our community. Thank you all.
Thank you, Matt. Now we want to move on. As we went back, Bobby and I discussed this, and we forgot to mention two of our new state representatives. We want to show our appreciation for them today. Representative-elect Josh Branchcombe and Representative-elect Shane Baker. Gentlemen, we appreciate you being here today. Now it's time to move on. We'd like to take this opportunity to say our appreciation to our chamber ambassadors. If you're a chamber ambassador, please stand today. Please help me give them a round of applause. We couldn't do what we do at the chamber without these folks. Thank you all very much. Now is the time for the recognition of our Chamber Ambassador of the Month. And today is Banner Day, Farrah Dobbs. Please give Farrah a hand. Appreciate all the work you do. Good job, Farrah. We really appreciate all you do for the chamber. Next, we have today's corporate sponsor, Citizens National Bank, and we appreciate Citizens National Bank for all that they do for the Chamber of Commerce and all they do for our community. And this time, I'd ask Sean Doherty to say a few words.
It's good to be here this afternoon. First, I would like to say a big thank you to the Chamber of Commerce for hosting and organizing today's event. Bobby, Rakai, and Bill, We really appreciate all your hard work and what you do for businesses here to keep local businesses strong. I'd also like to tell you a little bit about our year at Citizens National Bank. It's not been without challenge. However, we have persevered and we continue to be the most accommodating bank in Pulaski County. This year we celebrate being in business for 100 years. 100 years strong. We would like to thank all of our customers who have supported us along the way and that continue to support us. Without the customer, we have no purpose. Here in the 100th year that we're doing business, we are celebrating our ability to continue growing with our community. Since the beginning of the year, we've grown our bank $95 million, or roughly 21%. We celebrate our ability to continue offering 7 convenient branch locations here in Pulaski County. While others close branches, we remain committed to this community. We celebrate continued loan opportunities for our small businesses and our citizens. According to the SBA data, Citizens National Bank originated roughly 30% of all small business administration payroll protection loans that were done in Pulaski County. Overall, our ability to adapt and grow with our community has afforded us the ability to maintain a strong market share. Currently, we have about 26% of the market share. We are proud to be in this community. It is where we live, work, and play. We thank God for what we have done together as a community. We are looking forward to the next 100 years of prosperity and growth right here in our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Sean, and again, we thank Citizens Bank for being our sponsor today of our Chamber of Commerce Luncheon. Next, we have our speaker, Kentucky Speaker of the House, David Osborne. So I'm going to read David's bio. House Speaker David Osborne of Prospect has served in the Kentucky House of Representatives since 2005. He was sworn in on January 8, 2019 to serve as Speaker of the House, Speaker of the Kentucky House of Representatives. In addition to his role as lawmaker, Osborne owns and operates Deerfield Farm, a thoroughbred racing and breeding operation in Prospect. He is a member of the Oldham County Chamber of Commerce, Farm Bureau, and the Louisville, Kentucky and National Association of Realtors, as well as the Realtors Land Institute. He is also a member of the American Saddlebred Horse Association, Thoroughbred Owners and Breeders Association, and the U.S. Equestrian Federation and Kentucky Equine Education Project. Born and raised in Oldham County, Osborne graduated from Oldham County High School and continued his education at the University of Kentucky, where he graduated with honors with a Bachelor's Degree of Science in Economics and Agricultural Economics. Osborne continues to operate his real estate business of 29 years, specializing in farms and land. He has been married to his wife, Lori, for 23 years. Please help me welcome Kentucky Speaker of the House, David Osborne.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate the opportunity to be here today. We've obviously had limited opportunities to do these types of things this year, so it's good to be here. It's actually the second time I've been on this stage in the last 5 weeks. We were here just recently doing a roundtable with some business and community leaders, and had a great visit here. Good to see some of my colleagues here. Y'all have a great team representing you in Frankfort. Speaker Pro Tem David Meade. Not only is David a great asset to this community, but he is a great asset to me. He's my second on the floor, but he's also one of my most valued friends and confidants and advisors. So appreciate everything that David does. Ken Upchurch, our transportation chair. When I came into office 15 years ago, Ken gave me my orientation. I came in a special election. I was the only one to be orientated. So Ken gave me my orientation, and while we laugh a lot about it, I still learn from him every single day. So appreciate you, Ken. And of course, our tourism chair, Tommy Turner, and former Speaker Jeff Hoover. They're going to be leaving us after this year, and we're certainly going to miss them, but look so forward to working with Shane Baker and Josh Branscombe. Thank you all so much for being here. I'm going to be pretty informal. Today I'm going to talk a little and listen a little bit. I think that everybody gets to hear elected officials talk a little too much these days, for about an hour every day at 4 o'clock, I believe. But it's an opportunity to listen, and I think that we could all be a little better served if we do a little more listening and a little less talking these days. As I've done these types of talks over the past 3 years, gone around the state, it's been a time when we got to celebrate the successes of the policies that we have passed since taking the majority in 2017, and had a pretty good story to tell. We were clicking along at a pretty good pace, had the policies that we put in place, I really believe, fundamentally changed Kentucky for the better. We had record job creation, record investment in Kentucky businesses, and until March of this year, there were more people working in every single county in Kentucky than there were 3 years ago when we took the majority. And I do think that that strong underlying foundation is one of the things that's helping us through this. Obviously, the 2020 session was a bit of a mixed bag. We were moving along pretty well, working on a budget. We had just passed the House's version of the budget the 1st of March when the virus hit. And it was a good budget. It was a very thoughtful budget, one that still had some austerity to it, but one that quite frankly made some investments in areas that we hadn't been able to for a long time, and that was a great experience to be able to do that and not just have to look under every couch cushion that we could possibly shake to balance a budget. But then obviously the virus hit. Our budget projections went completely out the window, and we really had no idea what we were going to be faced with, what our budget was going to look like, what our revenues were going to look like. When we came into session, we were experiencing record revenues, and we knew that was going to change. The problem was we didn't have anything we could rely on. There was no way to model anything that was happening. We can model a lot. As an economist, I can tell you we can make numbers say just about anything we want to, but there was no way to make any sense out of the numbers that we were looking at. So it was a difficult thing. So we backed off. For the first time in history, we actually passed a one-year budget. Normally we pass a two-year budget, but we just didn't have any reliability or any belief that the numbers we were looking at were going to be reliable. So it was we kind of did the best we could. We took the most pessimistic numbers we could possibly find and used those numbers, knowing that there was really no great reliability in those numbers either. Certainly, the virus has changed everything. It's changed the way we live our lives, the way we run our businesses, the way our kids go to school. Everything's a bit in disarray. It's a little tough to be optimistic sometimes. But being an optimist, I will remain optimistic, but cautiously so. I from early on, we worked with the governor to try to manage the situation. I think that everybody understood that we were in an unprecedented time, and that the governor had a very, very difficult job to do, and was going to make some decisions that were going to be unpopular, but probably necessary. And all of us, both House and Senate, President Stivers and I both publicly commended the governor for some of the early steps he took to slow things down, to back away and let us try to figure out what we were dealing with. Unfortunately, that's where the relationship kind of came to a screeching halt. Since that time, we've had very little interaction with the governor. And quite frankly, while I will commend him in the job that he did initially in making everything take a pause, I think that the reopening has left a bit to be desired. And I think that, as I said, I think it's often important that we as elected officials do a little more listening than talking. And I don't think that there have been enough voices in the room during this entire shutdown. And I think that that's not to say that we want to be right, but we want to make sure we're not wrong. We're dealing with people's lives here. And I think the more voices that we can have in those conversations, the more people we can have in those rooms, the better likelihood is that we will make good decisions. So unless there's something unforeseen, we will go into back into regular session January 5th, and we'll have to have the unenviable task of passing the second year of a 2-year budget. It's only happened one time before where we had to pass a budget in a short session. It's difficult enough to pass it in a long session, and it's going to be even more difficult in a short session. Again, we're going to be struggling with reliability of numbers, but we will do the best we can, and understanding, of course, that the one thing that is benefiting us at this point is the underlying economy is still strong. While it has taken an incredible blow, I think that the fundamentals of the budget and the fundamentals of Kentucky's economy remain relatively strong. So we will battle with those numbers the best we can and come up with the best budget that we possibly can. As I said, we've been doing roundtables around the state, and we're here 5 or 6 weeks ago and have been from the far west to the far east and up north and down south. The one thing that comes up just about every place that we've been, it's interesting the differences that you'll have in the different areas of the state, the things that concern people, things that they're interested in. But the one thing that comes up every time is the emergency powers being used by the governor. It is certainly something that was never contemplated. The emergency powers, Section 39A of the statute, was never contemplated to deal with something that would drag on this long. It was contemplated to deal with things, natural disasters, things that would be limited in time and scope. Never contemplated that it would be used to shut down an economy for several months at a time. And I think that many of those things have been necessary, but I think many of those things have also teetered on the edge of unconstitutionality and legality. And I believe that the governor is now 0-8 when it comes to court challenges. We will take those emergency powers up when we come back into session. We will do so in a thoughtful manner. I think that there will be certainly some desire on some people's parts to overreact, and we will do what we've done every year that we've been in the majority, and that's to be the adults in the room and make good decisions, good long-term policy, not one that is just good for this situation, but one that is good for this governor, the next governor, and many generations to come. That is the way we try to approach everything, is with good long-term policy. Another thing that we will be looking at as we come back in is the complete and total disaster that has been the handling of the unemployment insurance system. It is unconscionable that we still have 77,000 people that have unresolved claims. That's only 300 less than we had 2 months ago when we paid Ernst & Young $11 million to come in and process these claims. It is unconscionable that there are people that still have claims pending from March, April, and May. Over 40,000 that are still pending. Many of those people have never even had a phone call with a live person, and that's unacceptable. I understand that these are unprecedented times that challenge everybody's commonly perceived notions of how business operates. But it's unconscionable that these people in many cases are not even receiving phone calls. And as of Friday, it had been over 30 days since any of our constituent services folks in the Legislative Research Commission have even gotten a live phone call when trying to help constituents with these problems. And it's unacceptable. It's just unacceptable. We will also take on some interest to the business communities. We'll also take on some additional liability protections for businesses and schools and nonprofits, churches that are operating under these conditions. We're not talking about giving liability protection for people that are being reckless, but people that are complying with everything that they need to be doing. We need to make sure that there's some firewalls between them and lawsuits. Obviously, we can't stop people from suing, but we can certainly provide protection for them. We'll take some action on the evictions moratorium. I think that, again, certainly there was a reason to pause on evictions when this first started, but to continue that without even going to the effort of doing means testing for it is a waste of, frankly, it's a waste of money, and it's once again choosing winners and losers in an environment where we don't need to be doing that. Same thing with utilities. There is the moratorium on disconnections, a good thing initially, but again, without means testing it. There are some of the smaller utilities that have over 30% delinquencies, and those are going to come due and payable at some point in time, so we'll have to address those. We'll also have to address some of the incredible challenges that are facing our healthcare system, and oddly, not by providing health care. I'm talking about hospitals. It seems completely counterintuitive that hospitals would be struggling in the middle of the biggest health crisis in modern history, but they are. They have effectively been shut down for many months, and there's some CARES money, some federal money that is available to them that the governor still has not appropriated. So if that has not been done, when we come back into session, we will appropriate those. Another issue that we will likely be taking up, and it hits a little close to home for me, is the issue of the protest. We have a tremendous amount of discourse, not just here in Kentucky, throughout the country right now. And there are some things to be learned from that. There's some challenges that we have that we can meet, and where there are great crises, there's also great opportunity. And this is an opportunity for us to address some things that need to be addressed. But I can tell you that vandalism and violence is not a way to voice your First Amendment rights, and we need to make sure that we are allowing protests to go on peacefully without suppressing First Amendment rights, but also protecting property. There's a lot of light to be shined on issues that are being discussed right now, but that light can't be from the fires that are burning our cities down. It's got to be from thoughtful conversation, and I believe that this is an opportunity for us to have a bipartisan conversation that will not include conversations of defunding the police. I will tell you that certainly there are some reforms that can happen in policing, but we will absolutely stand for the people that stand up and protect us on a daily basis. So again, thank you all so much for having me. I'm happy to entertain any questions, address anything that you all may want to talk about specifically. This gets real short if you don't.
Thank you for coming today, Representative Osborne. Part of Kentucky's beauty is shown to other folks around the world through our tourism. Thank you. Part of Kentucky's beauty is shown to the rest of the world through our tourism and stuff. So I come from a background in tourism, and so I've been very concerned and I know Lake Cumberland's nearby, the tourism industry has taken a pretty good lick, and is there any kind of plans in the future to kind of help with that in that regard as well?
Well, I think one of the things that is important is that we continue to protect local tourism dollars. There's been a move afoot for a lot of years to sweep some of those funds, and we've always maintained a commitment to maintaining those funds and allowing them to be appropriated locally in tourism development. It's a good example of what happens, though, when people work together and when you hear there are multiple voices. You know, initially a decision was made to not reopen Lake Cumberland State Park. And with the efforts of Ken Upchurch and David Meade and Jeff Hoover, Tommy Turner, Senator Girdler, they made a plea to the governor, and it was heard. And they showed how they could do it. They showed how they could open safely. And it's been a continued asset to this region, and certainly an economic driver for the region. Again, thank you all for having me.
If you would, Speaker Osborne, we have something to pass along. There's one more question? Okay.
Sorry, I was blinded by the light.
I had to think about how I wanted to ask this question. So my name is Amy Brooks. I'm from Crown Services here in Somerset. We're a staffing partner. And over the course of many months, we have jobs available. But what happens is the people that are on unemployment will call and have to, I guess they're reporting to unemployment offices that they're looking for jobs, that they're applying for jobs, which is great, but they just don't show up. So there needs to be a way that unemployment folks know they're not following through, that there needs to be a connection to employers, you know, between make that bridge between those two people that are trying to help these folks, but do they really want
it? Again, the unemployment issue has been a complete disaster. And look, it was not designed to handle this type of workload, certainly. The first thing that you have to have is the ability to admit you have a problem, though. And for 3 months, the administration refused to acknowledge that there was a problem, even though there were people that have still not been processed since March. We thought it was a step in the right direction when they brought in Ernst & Young. They had done similar types of abatement in Colorado with great success. They cleared out over 100,000 in Colorado in 30 days. Clearly, they're not making that type of progress here in Kentucky. Another one of the issues with unemployment was the incentive of the $600 from federal government that took some of the incentive away from going back to work. And I know that a lot of people were really struggling to find workers, even when they were trying to put people back to work. That was supposed to have come to a stop the 1st of August. It has now been extended for an additional 3 weeks. That helps to provide a stepping off mechanism, at least, to scale that back. But there's still no accountability in the unemployment insurance system. Again, thank you all very much.
Oh, we have. The Chamber would like to show its appreciation to Speaker Osborne today and commemorate this event with giving him a plaque for a friend of the Chamber of Commerce. Our next Chamber Luncheon will be Tuesday, October the 6th. at noon, of course, and we're going to have the president of the Kentucky Council on Post-Secondary Education, Dr. Aaron Thompson. So everybody we look forward to seeing everybody at that luncheon on October the 6th. Now we have 4 gifts to draw for. First up, our first one is 20% off of M&W Printing, donated by M&W Printing. Ticket number 176586. 586. Here we go. Up front. If you could, make sure we hear you today. It's a little hard to see up here. Next, we have RB Dry Cleaning certificate for $20 donated by RB Dry Cleaning. Ticket number 176629. Ticket 629. Back in the back. Surely he's not going to make you walk all the way back there, Matt. Next, we have a $50 gift certificate for Buffalo Wings and Rings, donated by our corporate sponsor today, Citizens National Bank. Ticket number 176571. Ticket 571. Right there. Next, we have a $100 detail gift certificate for Detail Tech, donated again by our corporate sponsor today, Citizens National Bank. Ticket number 176569. Ticket 569. I may ought to get my ticket out and check it for that one. Nobody? That was a good one not to look. Ticket number 176625. Ticket 625. Nobody wants their car detailed today. Ticket number 176567. 567. Is that you? Tiffany won. Look at this. Second vice president wins the big gift of the day. That's great. Again, we want to thank everybody for coming out today. I think it's very important for our community, and glad that everybody's made the effort to attend today. And again, want to thank Speaker Osborne for coming down and being with us today. We're going to be dismissed with our pledge to the flag. I've asked Representative Ken Upchurch if he'd come up and lead us in our pledge to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.